What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Dudes Who Bet Sports.
So you want to bet sports, but you need some advice on how to cash in big at a heck of a price. Well, if you want enough money to line your shorts, then you're in the right place. This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Halterman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dudes Who Bet Sports show. Bree, good evening to you as well. And I tell you, Papa Dude, I think we need a new theme song for this time of the year because we're more horse racing than sports right now.
We are, and I'm thinking we need to have a new, we need to get Magic to edit us a new beginning. What do you think?
I think so, too. I've told him 100 times to do it. He's lazy. No, I haven't told him.
Well, maybe I better get on him. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like he doesn't have anything else to do, you know.
Oh, I love it. Well, Nick Feldman just hit the late pick 5 at Indiana, now Horseshoe, Indianapolis.
Ooh.
Congratulations, Nick. I think it paid $1,500. I think Mr. Samich was alive to it as well. So congratulations.
Well, you and I got it also. On our
I haven't checked to see if we got Indiana today or not. Dennis says it's Wednesday night. What the hell is Dudes Who Bet Sports playing for right now? I know, Dennis. It's crazy. We're here on Wednesday. I thought we would do something fun on the show. That's why we're here on Wednesday. We were going to do Monday, and I said, it's really boring. What I do on Wednesdays, when the stakes races come out, I go over all of them and kind of get my first thoughts, first glances at all the races, and then, of course, handicap fully and make the final decisions on either Thursday night, Friday morning, and then post them onto the website. So instead of me just, in my office here by myself doing it, I said, why don't we do kind of a quick look / preview of the 6 big races that are going to happen. And it'd kind of be fun to kind of talk about them with the people watching as well if they've got questions. I know a lot of times when we do Blinkers Off or Magic Mike, we're really into just giving out the picks and getting handicapped and go to the next one, and we miss some comments sometimes. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm excited because I think it's going to be a pretty good weekend. You've had a look at it. Overall, what do you think of the races we're going to talk about today as far as the strength of the races?
Okay. Well, there's some good ones. Very good ones. It looks to me like out of the 6, 3 of them are between maybe one of them maybe is a single. The other 2 are between a couple of horses. I think you probably would agree with me on that. Mm-hmm. And then we got 2 or 3 that are just toss-ups, I think, in my opinion. There's a couple that I had a hard time picking. Are you kind of that way too?
Yeah, I feel like we're going to be pretty similar in our thoughts. Don't know if we'll be similar in our horses, but I definitely think I could agree with that. With that being said, let's just go ahead and throw them up on the screen. I'll do that now. We'll start at Belmont Park because I think we'll start with I think is going to be the showcase race of the weekend. And it's the John A. Nerud Stakes, easy for me to say. By some kind of shock here, we have Life is Good versus Speaker's Corner going 7 furlongs at Belmont Park. I didn't think either one of those horses would be in this race a couple of weeks ago. I'll run down the full field and I'll kick it to you for your thoughts. Number 1 is Life is Good. Of course, the horse that was the number 1 horse in the country after he won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile and the Pegasus to kick off this year, but was 4th in the Dubai World Cup as a heavy favorite. We'll see if he bounces back going 6 furlongs here. Number 2 is Repo Rocks. The horse was 4th in the Run Happy Stakes, 2 starts back on the dirt. Last time out, went to the turf at Parks and was nowhere to be found. 6 beaten 21.5. The number 3 horse is Harvard, another horse that's kind of been nowhere to be found in the last couple of starts. Last time we saw him right here at this track, he was 7th in an allowance race, going a mile and a 16th. War Toxin is the 4 horse. Last time we saw him, he was 3rd, beaten 12 lengths over this track in the True North. That was Jackie's Warrior that soundly defeated him. And, of course, the number 5 Speaker's Corner. He was flawless this year, a perfect 3 for 3 before he ran into a buzzsaw in Flightline in the Met Mile last time out. He got 3rd. Now he's back. He runs into another buzzsaw, maybe, and Life is Good. All right, Papa Dude, what do you think of this one?
Well, I think it's a 2-horse race. You might be able to make a little bit of a case for War Toxin, maybe, to get in there in case something happens to the top 2. But I think this is one of those 5-horse fields where you just stop and you just watch two really good horses go at it. And you just got to choose between what, if you think Life is Good is in form or not. And then Speaker's Corner, was that just a goof up against Flightline, or is Flightline that much better? And the fact that he got beat, I don't really look at that as much because Flightline was unbelievable that day. So I think it's between Life is Good and Speaker's Corner, and it's just sit back and watch this one.
Yeah, this is going to be something pretty special here. We'll get to a couple of the comments now. Nick says, I personally don't think Life is Good is cranked for this. Only 4 furlong, 49 seconds coming in on a workout. Having said that, his hand ride might still be good enough to win in this spot. Pletcher putting Pratt on Life is Good due to IRAD suspension. After, I would love to be a fly on the wall to see if Pratt thinks what Pratt thinks of Flightline and Life is Good. Of course, he rode Flightline. Now he's going to ride Life is Good. Kind of good to be Flavian Pratt.
Yeah, that's right.
So we'll see. That's a great point I hadn't even thought of, and that's kind of the cool part about this show, because I'm not just looking at it just now, but I've only kind of looked at this for about an hour and don't have real crazy thoughts like that. Not crazy, but just in-depth thoughts, and that makes sense. Yeah. Dennis says this is going to be a fun race to watch. Not interested in betting. Both Life is Good and Speaker's Corner going to be tough, but I don't trust Life is Good coming back from Dubai. Also, Speaker's Corner did not look very good at all in the Met Mile. Talk about the Dubai a little bit and that factor coming back. What do you think about Life is Good coming back, first race off of Dubai?
Well, I think a lot of times horses don't come back from that for a while. Some of them don't come back and run very well again. Personally, if I had a horse, I would not send him over there. I just would not. I just think I just wouldn't do it. I think it's too risky. This is a pretty good horse, though, and I think he can handle about anything. The key is going to be, is he ready to go up against a horse like Speaker's Corner, who was not, as Dennis said, very good. But Flightline would have made a lot of horses look pretty bad, I think, in that race. I don't think it's a good betting race because I think they're going to have very low odds. Don't you? I mean, I think
it's going to be a lot like Flightline versus Speaker's Corner in that regard. Yeah.
Don't you think if you get 6-5 on either one of them, that's pretty good? I mean, Corner might. I think Life is Good will be the favorite.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably 3-5 on Life is Good, 6-5 on Speaker's Corner.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think the other horses are good enough to beat them.
No, I think the other horses are just filler in this race. Okay, Speaker's Corner. Personally, I'm a little bit more worried about how Speaker's Corner is going to run here than I am Life is Good.
Yeah.
In no way did I ever hear this as being a race that they thought Speaker's Corner would run in.
Yep.
He was trounced in the Met Mile, and that was just 3 weeks ago.
I was getting ready to say, that's not very long ago.
No, and this is very interesting that the horse is coming back. Now, the good news is cuts back to 7 furlongs, which he was very sharp at in the Carter.
Exactly.
He runs that Carter race. Life is Good, better be ready. But I'm not sure.
Well, the other thing is, too, let's look at the purse. Is he a $250,000 purse horse? I mean, that's not that big a purse to take a chance on getting your ass beat.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't there be something else they could have thrown him? And it is a little surprising now that you think about it.
It was a shock. I kind of had heard some murmurs that, Life is Good might be back for this race, but Speaker's Corner was a real shock. They had like a press release. I think that was Sunday, and Jared sent it to all of us, and I'm like, Speaker's Corner, like, yeah, was that a misprint? Like I never heard that. So it's an odd entering. Yeah. Also a grade 2 instead of a grade 1. You'd think that's where they would run them. I don't know.
I would think both of these horses are better than grade 2.
Mm-hmm.
I know Life is Good is, but they're using this as a prep for something.
Yeah, this is a prep for the Whitney for Life.
Yeah, he makes sense.
Yeah,
he's been off for a long time. The purse is okay. He's probably going to, they thinking he's going to win, so throw him in there and get him prepped for for the bigger one.
I don't think they thought Life is Good would run into a horse like Speaker's Corner in this
Exactly.
race.
Yep.
So that's interesting. Greg says he thinks 10 furlongs is the reason why Life is Good lost. You could absolutely be right about that.
Yeah.
And I think 7 furlongs, a mile, that's optimal for Life is Good.
I do too. I think this is his distance.
I think he's definitely going to manage to beat Speaker's Corner here and poor Speaker's Corner. And I'm with Marla. I like Speaker's Corner an awful lot as a horse as well. I just don't know about this one. One last thing before we go on, even though it's 5-horse field, I think it's from a watching standpoint is the most intriguing race of the weekend.
Yeah.
Last time out, Speaker's Corner was able to get the lead on Flightline. But the last time we saw Life is Good in the United States, he was able to get a 3-length lead on Nick's Go, who's never behind in any race.
Right.
Does Speaker's Corner get the lead here, or will Life is Good be the one that takes him to the turn in front?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
It's the big question. I think Life is Good will take the lead. I think he'll get out.
It's hard to imagine a world where he's not in the lead. And the reason why I say that is he's always in the lead.
Exactly.
He's never been in second. So we'll see what happens. I don't know.
I'm wrong.
What's that?
Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Okay.
When Churchill got Life is Good, okay, didn't he run him mostly at this distance for a while? And then
he ran him in one-turn races. Maybe not this distance specifically, but he ran in one-turn races or the Breeders' Cup Mile, which was a 2-turn race, but still at a mile. Yeah.
Yeah, and then stretched him out for Dubai, and it didn't work, and now they've got him back where Pletcher had him in the first place. So I think an interesting question, which you guys probably covered a lot back during Dubai, is why did they send him over there to run? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, that they sent him over there to run at that distance.
Well, I think they thought he can handle it. And I think they looked at that purse and said, he's going to be awfully tough to beat. Even if he doesn't quite get it, I think he can still win.
Yeah.
He looked awfully well for a long, long time. He just couldn't finish it off. And
the distance got him.
Yeah.
So I definitely am going to pick him. I mean, I'm kind of with Dennis. I don't know whether, if he's 3 to 5, I don't think he's worth putting a lot of money on. You'd have to put a bunch of money to win anything when you got Speaker's Corner down there that could upset him pretty easy. And that might not even be an upset,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just feel like, I mean, if you get 4 to 5, if you get even money somehow, Life is Good becomes a much more valuable commodity. But 3 to 5, you just watch the race or you single him if you like him and move on. So
now with Speaker's Corner, does he run at Belmont a lot? Is he on this circuit?
I mean, he's been at Belmont before 3 times. He actually was undefeated at Belmont until he lost last time out.
Well, he's going to take some money simply because of that.
Yeah, and I think just the fact that he also won the Carter at Aqueduct on the Naira circuit. So at this distance, I mean, he's going to take money.
Yeah.
And I think some people are a believer in the Dubai bounce. And Hot Rod Charlie came back and lost after running to Dubai. So, I mean, it could definitely happen.
This horse is better than Hot Rod Charlie.
I think this horse would eat Hot Rod Charlie. So
Hot Rod Charlie would be maybe 6-7 lengths behind him if Life is Good is ready.
Yes, and I like Hot Rod Charlie, but I definitely think they're in a different category.
Yep.
Completely. All right, let's move on to race 8 on the same card. It's the Dwyer Stakes. We're going to have 3-year-olds going 1 mile in here. Grade 3 race, $250,000 purse. All eyes will be on the horse on the rail. That's the number 1 horse, Charge It. Of course, he was 2nd in the Florida Derby before finishing 17th in the Kentucky Derby. Lightly raced horse. Let's see if he can improve. The number 2 is No Save Nada. This horse won an allowance at Delaware Park last time out after a long layoff. He won it by a head. That was his first race of 2022. The 3-horse is fluid situation. Last time we saw him, he finished 4th in the Gold Fever Stakes here at Belmont Park, going 6 furlongs. He did break his maiden at Tampa, going 7 furlongs, 2 races back. Unbridled Bomber will be the 4-horse. A couple of third place efforts recently against allowance runners over this track. The number 5, Running Son of a Gun. This horse was third last time out in the before mentioned Gold Fever Stakes, going 6 furlongs. Before that, had a 7 furlong allowance win at Parks. And the 6 is Navikov, hopefully named after Evgeny Navikov, former San Jose Sharks goalie. Number 6 is Navikov. He was a maiden special weight winner by 3 1/4 at Belmont last time out. 2 races back. If you go watch the replay, boy, he was a tough luck loser at Keeneland on debut. That's the field of 6. What are we looking at in this one?
Absolutely nothing. I would think $250,000 perch would attract a little bit better. What do you think on that? I mean, I don't see just a lot of horses that are very good in this. Am I missing something?
It certainly seems like a 2-horse race at best here between the number 1 Charge It and the number 6 Navikov.
I would say so too. I mean, 3 and 4, I don't even look at.
No,
I don't get that at all. 5, maybe a little bit, maybe. Yeah, the 5's done some stuff. He's been okay. Never won a stakes though, but he's ran in some stuff.
He's got a couple of sharp looking victories.
Yeah, he's a player probably. I think I'd bet on 6 all day. I really do. 1 has got all kinds of potential. We've said it a million times. The 1 race he won, he was extremely impressive. But it's the only one he's ever won. He's lightly raced something. There's a reason why. Right? I mean, he's crazy, I guess. They can't quite get him where they want to be. A little surprised he hadn't run since the Derby. Aren't you? Didn't you think maybe they'd throw one in there before? Maybe not. I don't know.
I think they kind of decided after that Derby was the disaster for Charge It. They said, we'll kind of back off a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, this $250,000 race is good for him, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We got to see what the odds are, but I like the 6. You got Chad Brown, very impressive win. Why couldn't he win this one?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
Nick Feldman is also with you. He likes the 6 a little bit as well. He says he remembers his last race was pretty impressive. Always been skeptical of Charge It. I will try to beat Charge It. Yeah, I don't have a final pick yet. Yeah. Thursday, if you want to watch Blinkers Off, I will certainly have that finished up. But I kind of like Navikov as well. Yep. So I'm kind of with you guys. I'm leaning that way right now. I wasn't a huge fan of Charge It going into the Derby. Let's kind of analyze the Florida Derby. He did get second in that race. Kind of looked like he should win it. How good are those horses down there that ran in the Florida Derby? White Barrio was beaten in the Ohio Derby last weekend. Ran really well again.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, I mean, just.
Yeah, I forgot that Florida Derby when he ran second.
Yeah.
That's the one where he angled out, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then he got in.
Yeah. He could have won that.
Yeah.
If he can come back to that and run straight, he can win this.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely it's between him and the 6 for me. I don't think you can bet on anything. Maybe the 5, maybe, but
I may end up going back to Charge It when it's all said and done. I haven't quite made up the decision yet, final, but I don't know. I think this Navikov horse is pretty good. That maiden race on debut at Keeneland was pretty darn good as well. So we'll see what happens here. I think it's going to be interesting to see. It's definitely a 2-horse race between those two.
And this may be one where you can make some money.
The one, well, I don't know.
You think they'll be bet down?
I think they're both going to be bet down. Well, Navikov will probably be like 8-5, 9-5, I would say.
You think so? Okay.
I don't know. I'm really bad at guessing the odds of the next horse after the favorite. We'll see. I think he's going to get bet down. The only other the biggest reason why I think he's going to get bet pretty hard is who is betting 2, 3, 4, or 5.
That's true. All the money's going to go to 1 and 6. Yeah.
All right. A few of the comments before we move on to Churchill Downs. Chad Brown, 3-year-old dirt horses are absolutely loaded right now. If the 6 can run, yeah, absolutely. They're running great for sure. He does have the look of one that's improving. Dennis said, you think Peter Brandt is going to name a horse after a hockey player or a novelist author? Well, probably the author, but I was just being funny. You can't have any fun with these people, I swear. Let's see, what else? I think the 1 is lightly raced because he's green as grass and crazy. 6 is lightly raced because he's late developing. I don't know who this is, Magic or Jared maybe chimed in and said, Charge It displaced his soft palate in the Derby. That's why we haven't seen him. So he's had surgery to repair that. So there you go.
Okay.
And Dennis said that as well. So,
all right. I got all the answers. I am very impressed.
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah.
Because you know why? I didn't really care when Charge It came back. I was not a huge fan of it.
Palate is.
Soft palate. Well, when they just, it's a
mouth.
Yeah, it's in the mouth. And when they displace, they can't breathe. So they can breathe, but it hinders their breathing, and that explains why he just
is his hard palate all right?
I think the hard palate's still okay. Yeah, from what I'm hearing.
Or has he been gelded? Right.
there you go. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to Churchill.
Okay. Hey, these I've got some thoughts on these.
All right. My BFF, that still doesn't explain it. I think that's Jared, but I'm not sure.
Your best friend forever.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Churchill Downs now. We'll go to the Fleur de Lis here. A grade 2 race going 1 mile and 1/8, $350,000 purse, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. So a race that has produced some great winners. We have a small field, kind of a disappointing that they only got 5, but there's some decent runners in here for sure. I'll run through them real quick. Number 1, Super Quick. Last time out, a 14 1/4 length winner in the DuPont Distaff at Pimlico. So that was pretty impressive. Went gate to wire to do that. The number 2 is She's All Wolf. Always good for an upset at Churchill Downs or Oaklawn, and then always good for a bunch of Oklahoma-bred wins at Remington. Last time out, she upset the apple cart. She beat Ava's Grace and Pauline's Pearl in the Shawnee Stakes at 1.16 over this track. Speaking of Ava's Grace, she is a 3-horse. She was second after setting the pace last time out in the Shawnee Stakes, and she was also third in the La Touraine behind Pauline's Pearl and She Dares the Devil. Speaking of those 2 horses, the number 4 is Pauline's Pearl. Won the grade 1 La Touraine 2 races back before a very disappointing 4th in the Shawnee. And then She Dares the Devil's the 5. She was second in the La Touraine and also finished 3rd in the Azeri, also behind Pauline's Pearl that day. So field of 5. I thought this was tricky for a field of 5. What did you think?
Oh, it's a great field.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got really all of them are pretty good. I think it's between a 4 and a 5. Don't you?
I'm leaning that way. Yes.
I mean, they're the name horses, but you got to look at the 1.
Yes.
The way she ran the last time. So, the thing about Pauline's Pearl, she's very consistent. She's going to run well. It is a little bit disappointing finishing 4th the last time out. That's kind of unexplainable. And she faltered late in that race. She was up towards the front and then really bowed out. I think she finished 11 lengths behind. I think I read that. Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of disappointing. Maybe a sign she might be a little tired. I don't know. She's running a lot of races this year. Asmussen doesn't baby him. He runs them. Love the horse. Did she give everything she had on Derby Day to win that race? And did that take something out of her? Because she was great that day. That she was all out that day. Did that take something out of her? I don't know. Then you got She Dares the Devil. You can say the same thing about her as you did Pauline's Pearl. Consistent, always runs well. has been in big races. I mean, this a really good horse.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of nailed it with She's All Wolf. The horse is just a really good horse, just a good, steady horse. I don't know that. Well, she beat him in the Shawnee, didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure she's in their caliber. Now, explain this to me. Why was the Shawnee not a graded stakes?
That's a really good question. It felt like a grade 3 race for sure, if not grade 2 with the field that entered. I don't know. It's just not. But it is the local prep for this race here.
Yeah, and it was loaded.
Yeah.
It's odd. Can She's All Wolf do that again? I question that. Because like you said, She's All Wolf's always good for an upset.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one. But for an Oklahoma bred, not knocking Oklahoma breds, but to do what this horse does, she's pretty good. She really is. I've always liked her a lot. Very steady. And then, so the only one I discount is 3 because I don't ever bet Diodoro in these races. I just don't. Yeah. And it's not that I don't like him. It's just he doesn't win a lot of stakes races. He wins a lot of races, but these kind I usually shy away from him because every time I do bet him, like every time I bet Lone Rock, he doesn't win. So I would lean between the 4, 5, and the 1. I don't know how you're going, but that's where I would go.
You've been steadfast on that Diodoro thing, and sure, Lone Rock's won some races, but yeah, in the big time races, he usually doesn't win them. So
no.
He had Keep Me in Mind. You kept getting closer and closer. Never could win last year. So yeah, that's.
And I don't mean that as a knock on Diodoro. I think maybe I know a lot of people don't like him. I think maybe he's a good enough trainer that he gets them better than what they are, but they're not good enough to win those stakes races. I don't. That's my theory on it.
Yep, absolutely. I think you're right on that one as well. I don't think he has a top caliber horse, more of a claiming /
like Carl Broberg, and I don't ever bet him in a stakes race.
Yeah,
a big one.
Comment. Let's see. I'll start with She's All Wolf. She reminds me so much of her mom. She's All In. I mean, they're almost identical, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Two just hard knocking horses, and this Okie bred is one of my favorites. But She's All Wolf. I can't explain how she won it. And it's not like she beat a bad field. Ava's Grace is decent. She beat Army Wife, who came back to win last weekend at Thistle Down, and beat Pauline's Pearl, obviously. So
she's if it lines up right, she could win. But I just can't bet her. I just can't.
She has a hard time putting back-to-back wins together when it's not at Remington. That's the thing. Great interview with Donnie K. von Hemel after this race. He basically said, well, we thought the field was short, and we thought other than Pauline's Pearl, she could get in there and compete. And he said, for whatever reason, Pauline's Pearl didn't run well, and ours did, and we won. And it was very simply put, I'm kind of surprised we won type of answer.
And I could hear him saying that. I could hear him. Yeah.
If anything else, he is brutally honest.
He's a very honest guy.
He did not hide the fact that he was kind of surprised.
No.
But, a great guy. I was very happy that he won, and they won this thing at 20-1. That being said, Russ thinks She Dares the Devil gets revenge. Nick thinks Pauline Pearl bounces back. I'm on Nick's side this time. No offense to Russ, but I am going to be on Nick's side because I kind of agree with this comment. I'm not sure She Dares the Devil has a whole lot left.
Yeah, maybe not.
Just looked pretty decent last year, kind of tailed off a bit. Hasn't been real great. I thought last time out, I picked her last time out in the La Touraine. I thought she'd get the lead, kind of bounce back second off the layoff. Just couldn't quite hold off Pauline's Pearl. I don't know. I'm just a little worried that she might just be not quite as good as she was as a 3-year-old and early in the 4-year-old season. Yeah. Dennis says he loaded up on Super Quick at Pimlico, lone speed that day, but now Ava's Grace and She Dares is there. I think the 4 just had an off day last time out. So, Yeah, I'm with you on that. Greg says Pauline's Pearl, usually bridge jumpers, that meaning horses that are high or low odds and get beat. Usually they bounce back. So I'm kind of there. I think I'm going to end up on Pauline's Pearl.
I think you about got to. Asmussen with 4-year-olds, man, it's pretty solid. I don't think this horse is great, though.
It just kind of felt like, that's surprising that she ran that bad.
Yeah. I don't think this is a great horse. I don't mean that in a negative way. I think this is a gutty horse. I don't think she's overly talented.
Mm-hmm. I think with Pauline's Pearl, the most surprising thing is the horse had hit the board in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight starts. Hadn't missed the board until before the Kentucky Oaks. That was the last time until this race there in the Shawnee. So we shall see how she bounces out of it.
Remember that race she ran before that, she ran her guts out.
She did.
She did. Could have affected her a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the highlight of the weekend. Well, other than when the John Nerud came up so strong, but this is the marquee race. It's the Stephen Foster from Churchill Downs. It's going to be race 10 on the card, a grade 2 race going 1 1/8 miles, $750,000 purse for 4-year-olds and upward. We got a field of 7, and boy, it's interesting. I'll kind of run through the list right now. This is a very, very fun field. The number 1 is Caddo River, has won 3 allowance races in a row. Absolutely dominant fashion. So a horse that we thought at one time might be a Kentucky Derby type of horse. Got second in the Arkansas Derby, won the Smarty Jones. We'll see if that horse is rounding back now and is ready for big-time stakes company again. The number 2 is American Revolution. How interesting is American Revolution here? He finished off the year last year as a monster and finished it off with a win in the Grade 1 Cigar Mile. Last time out, though, in the local prep race for this, the Blame Stakes, he was 4th, beating 3 lengths. It was not good. We'll see if he bounces back. The number 3 is Olympiad. He's won 4 in a row. He is definitely looking very strong coming into this. His last win was a victory in the Ali Sheba, the Grade 2, right here at Churchill Downs. The 4 is Title Ready. He was 3rd in the Ali Sheba last time out. The 5 is Proxy. He seems to just do nothing but hit the board in these stakes races. He's hit the board in 3 straight stakes events this season. He has not won a stakes race. He has 2 allowance wins and a maiden win in his career. How about this? The number 6 is Mandalon, another horse back from overseas. He comes back from the Saudi Cup where he was no good. He was 9th, beaten 18 3/4. Before that, he defeated Midnight Bourbon in a classic in the Louisiana Stakes at Fairgrounds. So we'll see how he comes back. And then how about this? The number 7, Last Samurai, last time we saw him, he won the Oaklawn Handicap going 1 1/8, and he won it by 4 lengths, dominated, beat a horse in Fearless, who came back to win, beat a horse in Plainsman, who's very strong. Rated R Superstar was in that race. He was able to defeat him, so beat some nice horses. And by the way, D. Wayne Lucas now training this horse. So just real quick on that, Willis Horton, all of his horses that were with Dallas Stewart have now showed up with the D. Wayne Lucas barn. So that's something to keep an eye on. All right, field of 7. There we go. I'll kick it to you now. Where are we going?
Well, you've kind of shot down everything here. Now I thought I had this race figured out, but man, you built them all up.
Well, that's what I do. I'm a hype man.
No, that's a good race, definitely. Any inside information on what happened on this switch from the Stewart camp to the Lucas? Because Lucas used to get all the Willis horses.
Willis Horton is an interesting guy. If you don't know him, he's anciently old, but he is hilarious and he's sharp. And he has damn good horses. He doesn't have 100 horses. He gets like 4 or 5, and they're good. I don't know. It happened last weekend is when it first started showing up in the entry box.
Yeah,
but. Well, Willis has fired D. Wayne before as well. Exactly. He's fired Dallas Stewart before as well. Not this time, but the time before. So I think with Willis, you get him for 2 or 3 years, and then we go on to somebody else.
Yeah. Well, remember, D. Wayne made Willis a household name with "Will Take Charge."
Correct.
That was the horse that got Willis Horton kind of on the map.
Yep.
And then the next thing you know, he fires D. Wayne after he said D. Wayne was the only trainer he would ever use. I believe he said something to that effect.
Correct. And yes, we'll take charge. Yes.
And then
we'll take charge. He also had Take Charge Brandy.
Yeah.
Who was an Eclipse winner as well. So all D. Wayne did was win 2 Eclipse awards with Willis's horses.
Fire him. I think he got Take Charge Brandy never did. She got hurt, didn't she? What happened?
Yeah, in her 3-year-old year. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was maybe Willis blamed D. Wayne for that. I don't know, but they're two guys that their personalities are probably clash. Because I would say D. Wayne doesn't take any shit off anybody. Well, I know that. And Willis doesn't take any shit off anybody. So I said, D. Wayne said, Willis, you're full of shit. Let me train. You give me the horses. We'll go from there. And Willis said, well, I'll do one thing better. I'll just take all the horses away from you.
Correct.
You old man, because D. Wayne's probably the only guy in horse racing that's older than Willis.
I would think those two are 100% alike, and that's probably what caused any problem that would have happened between the two. And I know nothing about what actually is going on one way or the other with any of this, but
and we know them both. That's the thing. We could talk about them because we like them.
Oh, I'm a huge Willis Horton fan.
Yeah, well, I'm a huge D. Wayne fan. So,
well, me too.
Yeah, I know you are. So, anyway, back to this. A little sideline on Caddo River because we're pretty familiar with him because he made his debut, at Oaklawn. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget when he won that Smarty Jones, how high Brad Cox was on this horse. And he did finish second. Wasn't that the year, though, there were 2 Arkansas Derbies that year?
No, that was the year. It was the worst Arkansas Derby ever.
Okay, I knew there was.
Superstock won. Concert Tour came in, and I thought he was going to be great, and he was awful.
Okay, I knew there was something flukish about that second place finish. But he never did much, and now he has come on and won allowance races. They are allowance races. This is a pretty big step up for him. But at one time, Brad Cox thought this horse was the real deal. So he's an interesting one to watch. I settled on the 3 because he is in the best form, I think, right now. I like the 6 a lot, but the 6 hasn't run in a while. And I'm always leery of that, although Brad Cox lays him off like this too. Everybody does. But I like that 3 a lot. So he's red hot. I'm going to go with him.
Yeah, I think Olympiad makes a lot of sense here as well. Dennis likes Olympiad, calls him a bear. By the way, Vicky is back from Europe. Welcome back, man. You've been gone a while, it seems like, since you missed the Race Dude community. We're very happy to have you back in the States here, Vicky. Greg says, hey, Last Samurai looked very good last time out.
He pissed me off. He pissed me off the last time out.
So you and Vicky are the same because she's still upset Last Samurai won that race at Oaklawn.
Yeah, I never even considered him.
12-1.
Very well.
We talked about this for a long time on a show of ours. And Fearless, Plainsman, we talked about, stupid Rated R Superstar.
Yep.
Didn't see this coming. And not only does Last Samurai win, it wasn't even close.
No, he stomped him.
Yeah. So.
That's another horse. That Plainsman, I hate that horse. I can't get that horse right ever.
Yeah.
Red Cox has got a couple of those that was one of them like Warrant something? Isn't that one of his?
Yeah.
That's another one. Screws me up all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Greg liked him because it was a cutback in distance. He had been running he ran second to Lone Rock at 1.5 miles and then cut back to 1 1/8. He'd been in a lot of 1.5 mile races, 1.25 mile races. So, well, you got it. I mean, he definitely wasn't tired when they turned for home. So,
yeah, I think it's an interesting choice who D. Wayne's got riding Last Samurai. That's kind of a red flag.
Well, Willis Horton loves John Court.
Okay, all right.
That's where that comes from. He loves John.
You know, John Court steps up and wins some races. He does.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. Like the Oakland Handicap.
Yeah, I mean, he's not bad.
Yeah. Vicky's with you. You guys are the same person tonight. Vicky's with you on Warrant. So he lost money on him last time.
I absolutely hate that horse. I will never bet that horse ever.
I do too. I don't like Warrant at all.
No.
But yeah, John Court is a sneaky guy. No,
He is. He sneaks in and wins one when you don't think he's going to.
let me back up. Not in life. He's not a sneaky guy. In the racetrack, he's a sneaky guy. He certainly can jump up and bite you. I don't know how many times I've looked at you and you've looked at me and I said, Jesus Christ, John Court again just knocked us out at like 20-1? Like, when are we going to learn our lesson?
Yeah.
Never.
Yep.
I'm very interested in the 6, Mandalon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I am wildly interested in the 2.
I like him too.
American Revolution. Getting Saez back, I think it's a big help. I think he'll be stronger this time around. I think he'll run a better race. I'm really interested to see what his price will be. If it's high enough, I think I may take a chance with that.
Well, let's try to figure it out here.
Oh God,
yeah, it's going to be 2-1.
I think Olympiad. Oh boy, I think Mandalon will be close too. I think one's 2-1 and one's 5.
This is one thing I'm pretty good at. I think I can do the morning lines. I think I could. Olympiad's probably going to be 2-1, 8-5, something like that. Mandalon's the same, pretty much the same. Don't you think they're both going to be real close?
They're pretty close to the same, yeah.
Yes, I do know that story. That's got to be Jared. Well, I didn't know he wanted to fight him, but I've heard the story about.
He didn't want to fight me. That's a made-up thing.
Oh, that's why I didn't hear it.
We did
in a bar, shall we say, intoxicated. And,
yes. Well, I'll tell you the story. Maybe he did want to fight me. I don't really remember that much of it.
So you were bad off too.
We were in Hot Springs and it was like 2 a.m. So you do the math. Where were we, Jared? We were at Martini's.
Okay. I'm a jockey that's in a bar at 2:00 a.m. You just got me out.
Never mind. I know what happened now.
Okay.
I don't think he wanted to fight me, but I don't think he was happy with me. I know what happened.
Okay, let's hear it.
So he was on a show called Jockeys. There were like 6 of them that were on a show called Jockeys.
Oh, yes. I remember that very well. That's where I heard of John Court.
Correct.
That was a great show.
His wife was on that show.
Oh, yeah.
And his wife was there that night.
Yeah. His
ex-wife now. And I think during that time, I'm getting there. I think during that time they were going through some issues, right? And it's ex-wife now. And so I wasn't hitting on his wife, so to speak.
I would hope not.
But I was carrying on more of a conversation with her than with him, and we were all kind of at the same.
She probably is more interesting than him.
She was much more interesting. Yeah. She's also Jinx Fire's daughter. So I was talking to her about that, and I was talking to her about how she gets a new pair of shoes when John wins, and I made a comment on the shoes that she had on. They were very nice, and I don't think John wanted to fight me as much as he was getting a little agitated that I wasn't spending time with him.
If I remember this, they broke up pretty quickly after this.
So what's funny is that's true, and that's not because of me. But
no, I wasn't alluding to that. I'm just saying that might have been why he was agitated at her.
Later that night, a buddy of mine, I don't want to say his name, but somebody we know that's from Hot Springs, let's say, kind of said they have some issues right now, and it's pretty bad, and he's very jealous right now. So
yeah.
And again, it was late, and now by the end of the night, I will say him and I were talking by the end of the night. So, but I do think he was a little agitated at the start. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Maybe I did break her heart that night.
I doubt it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
She's friendly, very friendly gal.
Well, that's why John was agitated. He's probably told her, "Shut your pie hole."
At the end of the night, because Zach, I almost said his name. Let's just say Zach came over and said, "Hey, don't maybe just to kind of stay away from her." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He kind of told me that. At the end of the night, I talked to John a lot more. So, yeah, to be fair, totally not hitting on her. John was not in a good place about it, though. I believe he had mounts the next day. Yeah, and I don't know how he rode, but that's a different story. This we really shouldn't be telling this story.
No, they probably are listening, both of them.
I think at my state and his state, it would have been a crazy fight. Probably if John and I fought. I don't know if either one could have landed a punch. Oh, those were the days.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
I didn't. Okay, I don't know either one of them. Never talked to him, but I watched that show you're talking about.
Yeah. And
I saw her in the paddock many, many times, and I never thought that marriage would ever last.
John, John's a really, really nice guy.
He is.
That's not the first time I've seen John out in Hot Springs, and he's always very, very friendly. I'm a big John Court fan as him as a person for sure. And what he thinks of me, I can't help it. Listen, I'm a friendly guy.
I doubt if he remembers the story at all.
No, he doesn't. No. Oh, I knew we would get this. This is it's funny.
I know.
You can't say anything about anybody. John, no. Again, let me just state it.
We're not saying anything bad about him.
John Court is a legend in Hot Springs.
Exactly.
Everybody likes him in Hot Springs. I like him. We see him out all the time. There's no talking bad about the guy.
No.
I'm telling a story.
I don't want my jockey drunk at 2:00 in the morning. I'm sorry.
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Oh, good Lord. He is a good guy.
Person and have bad timing on rides, and you can also have bad taste in women.
I think he has great taste in women. I like Crystal.
Oh, her name's Crystal. Okay. All right. We better shut up. This is getting even better.
I mean,
Dennis, you have bad taste in women? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody has badmouthed John Court once. We've complimented his writing. I've said he's a great guy and I like him. I said he was super friendly to me that night once he realized I wasn't trying to steal his wife. Well, I mean,
no, you didn't say that at first. You said he was agitated at you, but he got better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, again, Vicky, I'm not reading that out loud. All right. Listen, we have 2 more races to go.
I'm going to make a statement right here. I really don't think that marriage was going very well before that night ever happened.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, Urban's talking about comments. Well, I can't handle. I can't control what people think in the chat here. My opinion, and he's still a very good writer.
At 60, he is extremely good.
We're just having a little fun, and we like.
I mean, anybody that's 60 years old and still trying to ride a horse like that, and still winning the races he wins, is a good jockey, no question.
That's right. And a great guy, a good guy, good guy. All right, let's go on.
And he was great on that show, Jockeys, too.
I think so too. Yeah. I think so too. Yeah. Dennis says he likes his jockeys drunk. He was not talking about his taste. Yeah, just like Mike Smith. He's getting on there too. I haven't ever seen Mike Smith out in Hot Springs.
Wasn't he?
Mike Smith was on the show. He was very good. Yeah, him and Chantel.
Was Chantel Sutherland.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's zip through this. We got 2 more races.
I'm going to Google it and watch it tonight. I hope they got that on. It's on YouTube.
If you've never seen the show Jockeys, I have no idea where you can even watch it.
I don't even know what that was on. Was that on like HBO or something?
No, it was on A&E maybe.
Yeah. I bet it's on YouTube somewhere.
It's very, very good. I was not happy when they discontinued it. It was good. It was good.
Yeah. I think you were the only ones that watched it.
We got to go. We did total derail the show.
Let's get this done. Okay.
My escapades at he was John and Crystal were also there a few years earlier when Toby Keith played at Razorbacks Pizza.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like 50 people there and he played. Yeah, that was a good night. He was riding the next morning too. What's that called now? It's not Razorbacks Pizza anymore.
We're all pulling for Toby. You know, he has cancer, and
I know.
We're hoping. So far, according to him, the news is good, but you know how that goes. So,
it's stomach cancer, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
And he had it for 6 months and didn't announce it. So
yeah.
Hang in there, Toby. I'm sure you're listening.
yes. I'm sure he is listening. Prayers up to Toby. Hey, there we go. Jared's here. We've got our advertisements now. That's great. Okay. Here we go. We're going to race 7 on the card at Gulfstream Park on Saturday. That's right. We're at Gulfstream for the this is a terrible transition to the Grade 3 Smile Sprint Stakes going 6 per race. Yeah, $100,000 purse. We got a stellar field of 6 lined up here. Number 1 is Yes, I'm a Beast. Gets back on the dirt where he actually had won 2 races in a row here at Gulfstream against starter allowance and allowance runners. Now on the synthetic, we have the number 2 Gatsby making his second start off the layoff after an 8th place finish last time out against Florida Breds and Stakes Company, I should say. The number 3 is Drain the Clock. He's going to be a huge favorite in here, coming back from Dubai where he ran decent 7th in the Golden Shaheen last time out. The number 4 is Absolute Grit. This horse has won 4 out of 5 races, including a handicap last time out at this distance at Churchill Downs by 7 lengths. So that's an interesting one. The number 5 horse is Pudding. This horse, it's a terrible name, was 3rd last time out in a handicap behind Absolute Grit. And then Willie Boy is the 6th horse, winner of 2 in a row since coming back from a layoff and changing to the Delgado barn. Won by 7.5 2 races back, and then won a Florida Bred Stakes last time out by 5 1/4. All right, field of 6. Where are we going?
I think this one is one I would try to beat the favorite.
Okay.
I do. I don't think that 7th. Okay, big deal. That means 6. I don't like 7th place finisher to 6-5. I think the horse does have better class than the rest of them. I think it's running better races, obviously. I would like the 2 if they would say the Great Gatsby, but obviously they didn't think much of this horse because they didn't put the Great in front of it.
Correct.
I like the 4 a lot. I think at those odds, and maybe even get better than that, or the 6. I like both the 4 and the 6 better than I do the 3. So. This would be one I'd take a shot at maybe trying to beat the favorite, especially if that favorite stays 6-5 or goes down some.
Yeah, I haven't really quite decided what I want to do. I've kind of done well beating Drain the Clock in the past in races where people thought he'd have a shot to win. But coming back, I see some pretty solid workouts on the docket here. He's going to be tough. I'm kind of on the 6 at this moment. And again, tune in Thursday for the Blinkers Off show. I'll have these picks finalized. Just kind of a first look, kind of get everybody talking about it. But the number 6, Willie Boy, since coming back from the layoff and changing over the Delgado barn, which is great at Gulfstream, I tell you what, this horse has been pretty darn impressive. Hadn't even been close to losing. You take out Drain the Clock, this field isn't much. I agree. Absolute Grit, not bad either. But I don't know. I think Drain the Clock could upset here. I think I'm with you on that.
Okay. And speaking of John Court, Chantel Sullivan's got the mount on Willie Boy.
What does that have to do with John Court?
He was in the jockeys.
Oh, okay. All right. I was going to say, what are you trying to say? Okay. That was harmless. I thought it was.
Yeah, very harmless.
That's true. She was in jockeys.
You don't mess around with Mike Smith, as far as I know.
As far as I know as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're going to get to the final race here. Race 10. On the card, it's the Princess Rooney Invitational Grade 2, 7 furlongs, $300,000 race. And the Princess Rooney is a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. And why do I mention that? Because the horse that won this race last year was CC. And she went on to win the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint. And she's back to defend her title right here in the Princess Rooney. So that's kind of exciting. So I'll go through real quickly here. Field of 6. Number 1 is Spirit Wind, a winner of 3 straight races. And boy, she has looked impressive, winning by 15, by 2.5, and by 5 in a Florida bred stakes last time out. She looks pretty good. We'll see if she can keep it going here. She is a 3-year-old in this spot, taking on older horses. The number 2 is Allworthy, coming off a win as well, a $100,000 allowance win by 2 lengths at Churchill Downs. The number 3 is Glass Ceiling. This horse won 4 in a row before losing last time out to Bella Sophia in the Bed of Roses Stakes at Belmont Park. But she looked very, very good before that loss. The number 4 is Corey. This horse was 3rd in a Florida bred stakes last time out and did win a handicap 2 races back at Gulfstream Park. The number 5 is CC. Like I said, no introduction. Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint winner last year. This year came back and won the Azeri in a pretty exciting race over Pauline's Pearl and She Dares the Devil. And then 2 races back was competitive against Latruska and Clairiere, finishing 3rd in the Apple Blossom. Now we're cutting back to that 7 furlong distance for her. And then the number 6 is Make Mischief, won a $200,000 New York bred stakes last time out, going 1 mile by 4 lengths. All right, Papa Dude, where are we at?
Well, I've got 4 of them circled. I'd have to go with Cece at this point. Mm-hmm. Think she's got the best pedigree, or whatever you want to call it, best track record. I do like Glass Ceiling a lot. Can't rule that one out. And Greg keeps saying Make Mischief. I have that one circled, her, and then I like the 1. So if you're looking for some prices, I think you can look at that 1 and that 6. I don't think CC is going to come down from that 4 to 5.
Yeah,
I just don't think so. So there's going to be some prices out there if you don't think she can win. But she's pretty solid. She's a good horse.
This race is very interesting. It's kind of the same as the Smile Sprint we just talked about, where you have that standout looking horse on Drain the Clock, but could be vulnerable. And CC's right here, maybe could be a little bit vulnerable as well. Last year she came in here and she beat horses that weren't great. And I don't think we have a great one here, but I'm really interested in Glass Ceiling. Again, this is not the final pick, but gets back to a little bit easier of a race and was running really, really well until just getting trounced last time out. I know Greg likes a 6. I'm not sure. That's kind of one. I don't know if she's up to this class level. We're going to find out. We'll see. I'm on the fence right now about the 6. Pauline says 5 with 136 super box. So he likes the 5 CC with the 1 Spirit Wind, the 3 Glass Ceiling, and the 6 Make Mischief. I can see that, couldn't you?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Here's the deal, Vicky. I'm kind of with you. So way back when, I never missed CC. When she won the Apple Blossom in 2020, it's like, I've gotten this horse right all the time. I don't know that I've got her right more than like 2 times since. I'm with you. I had her in the Apple Blossom, so excited that she won that race. I've been missing this horse ever since. I tried to play against her last year in this. Didn't work out. I don't know. She's very frustrating to me for sure. I played against her in the Azeri, 2 back. She won. So.
Well, I looked at the Apple Blossom. She did finish 3rd, but I don't think she was even close.
No, she was only a length and 3/4 out of it.
Oh, okay. I read that.
It was close. Yeah.
Well, I like her. I think you have to look at her.
Yeah.
I just don't think this is one that you can safely say the favorite is worth betting against. Drain the Clock, I think you can say that. This one, her track record is just, it's a risk. It's a risk. But if you've got one that you really like, I mean, you're going to get good odds on that next horse, I think. I don't think she's going to go down from 4 to 5. I just don't think so.
Both of these races, the Smile Sprint and the Princess Rooney, are in the late pick 5, which makes it very interesting. If you beat one, it's going to pay. If you beat 2, it's really going to pay. I just think we got to try to beat Drain the Clock. We got to try to beat CC. And
do you think you need to do that? I don't think you can single her. I don't think she's that solid.
No.
So
I kind of and for the Rockets, which will cover this pick 5, I don't think I'm going to single either one of these. We'll have to get with Jared and kind of finalize those, but I don't think we're going to go single here. There's a video coming out of the Rockets. So the thing we're trying to do a little bit more with that, keep the ticket prices a lot lower, and also single horses that may not, always be the obvious ones. Like Lady Rocket last week was a single on a $72 ticket that hit at Churchill for $1,000, and she was 7-2, and that's kind of the single you're looking for. And I mean, obviously, if it's completely obvious, then you're going to single that horse and move on. But in situations like this where you're a little shaky, you're best to try to play a couple against and go short somewhere else. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Still a long ways off from finalizing that. But
the bottom line is you've got to get it right, or you're not going to cash. That's the thing.
Absolutely. And if Drain the Clock looked like an absolute lock, that would be a single, and we would go on to the next race. I just don't think so, and that's the same way with CC.
Yeah, CC worries me just a little.
Yeah, I don't know that she's an absolute stone cold lock.
Well, let's face it, there's very few that you single that you just feel great about, right? I mean, I don't. Very seldom do I feel great about a single.
Now, like I said, we're just trying to you try to get a little. If it's a sequence and you do have that horse, like a Flight Line, for example, would be one. Mason that ran at Belmont a couple of weeks ago. I mean, there's others, but those are coming to my mind.
Yeah,
Nakatomi, who ran at Churchill Sunday, I thought that was a cinch. Those type, yes, but when you get a sequence like what Lady Rocket was in on Saturday, it's an aggressive single. You just take a shot and you go, listen, there isn't a standout.
Yeah,
let's get aggressive with one that we don't think is going to be the favorite, and then we'll spread in other legs. If that single comes in, we've got coverage in other legs where people may have went short.
Yep.
And that's how you kind of knock people out when you're playing as short a ticket, which is all what the Rockets are about. About a month ago, we kind of changed that strategy on that. And like I said, there's going to be a video coming out explaining a little bit more of that. But anyway, that's kind of what we'll probably do here. I don't know. We'll see. There's still a lot of analyzing to go on that. So, okay. That's my spiel on that. Anything else?
Well, just want to mention Aaron's got me doing something different. And boy, we're doing well, I think. Don't you, Aaron?
Yes.
Aaron put me on the, shall we say, the lesser track because he gets extremely bored with them, which I don't blame him.
No. Okay,
and
let's clear up a few things immediately.
Okay.
That is not true. I have a lot of work to do, like going deeper into analyzing what I just talked about, the Rockets. And
I know.
I don't want a data entry all day long on the little tracks. So I've handed the little track data entry off to yourself.
I didn't say, I said that wrong. So what Aaron does is he goes in and he picks the top 4 that he thinks. And then I go in and I place them the way I think they're going to finish 1, 2, 3, 4.
Correct.
And that takes a lot of time off Aaron's hands because then he can then go in and I've placed them where I think they'll go, and then he can just put the bets in and away he goes.
Correct.
And
so what'll happen is he will structure the top 4, or he will put in the top 4, and then I will structure the bets. So what it does, it gives me more time to structure the bets better. It also gives me more time to focus on the Rockets. And then the bigger tracks gives me more time to focus on those.
Yeah.
Because the smaller tracks are set up. So it kind of works.
It's working out great.
It worked out extremely well for all products. And that was the goal.
Yeah. And we're doing this right now because the sports part of it is yuck. There's nothing to really do right now.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to do this because it doesn't take just a tremendous amount of time. But it's really fun. I am enjoying the heck out of it. And of course, it's always good when you're hitting them. And, but anyway.
The way it's going, this is going to be your permanent job, I believe, because
that's fine. I don't mind doing this at all. And I'm about done with driver's ed. Tomorrow's the last day of the first session. So I got to get through tomorrow to survive. And then the second session, there is a second session, believe it or not, that only goes for 3 weeks. But I don't know if we're going to have enough kids for me to do that. So, hey, I bought my football magazine. I'm working on my football stuff and getting excited already about the season.
My football magazine came in the mail yesterday. So that's awesome. Awesome. Yes, the Phil Steele is here, and I've been diving over it already. I think Oklahoma's going to suck. I'll just say that immediately after looking at it.
I'm not going to rank them too high, but
they're going to be awful.
I don't know about that. But I am tired already. I don't have Phil Steele. He's more realistic. Mm-hmm. I am so sick of reading about Lincoln Riley and USC. I'm about to gag. So.
I don't remember where he had him. He had him like low 20s, I think.
Well, I think that's about where I've got Lindy's sports. I think they were maybe 18, 19, but it's just Lincoln Riley's the greatest thing that ever lived. And he's going to win at USC. I mean, it's going to happen. It's easier to win there.
Great recruiter, bad coach. I'm telling you, and it'll just going to depend on how good of the talent that he has. He is going to get studs.
Oh, he's
going to be super talented.
Yep.
He's not a great coach.
No.
So we'll see but sometimes it doesn't matter when you got great players. They're going to be better. There's no doubt.
Oh, there's no question. They're going to be good, and their schedule's not very tough. Anyway, we're getting into stuff we'll talk about later, but I'm tired of reading about it. I know that.
We'll see. We'll see. Russ mentioned it, and Paulie, I see it now. Saratoga in 15 days. That's right. Oh, my God. 2 weeks from tomorrow. I'm losing my mind. Losing my mind. I'm so excited. For Saratoga. Can't wait. 2 weeks away. This show will have wall-to-wall coverage of that until football season gets going. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's good times. Good times for sure.
One more thing. Update us on the cat.
Oh, my gosh. Cats. Yes. I'm so glad you said it. I wasn't going to say anything. Okay. The cat has a name now.
Uh-oh.
And the cat is officially ours. We're keeping the cat, by the way.
Oh, my God. I can't believe that. I can believe it. I can.
Where is the cat? Cat's not here. Okay, so the cat is now. What's that?
The cat's in the house now?
Oh, yes. The cat's been in the house for 2.5 weeks.
Okay, we have got to get an update because the last time we had the show, the cat was still in the garage.
The cat? Where did she go? I think she went downstairs.
Philly, the cat and the dog, Philly, get along great.
Oh, boy. The cat and Philly, the cat loves Philly.
Well, I knew that.
Philly, with the cat. Doesn't hate her, doesn't love her.
Philly's that way with anybody.
Yeah. The cat is named Darby, after Darby Allin, our favorite wrestler. Well, Heather's favorite wrestler.
Okay.
We named her that because Darby Allin is reckless, crazy, will do anything, will jump from anywhere. That's Kitty. That is definitely Kitty. Kitty is a daredevil for sure. Darby's also really tough. The kitty is really tough. She's had 2 surgeries on her chin. The first surgery did not hold. The second one looks great. She actually just went to the vet for a checkup. Everything's going good. So she's in good shape there.
Good.
She's gained like 2 pounds, I think now. Yeah, she's doing good. She's doing really good.
Let me ask you this. When you guys leave, are you afraid to leave her with Philly?
No.
No problem at all.
She leaves Philly alone, and if she does swat at her once, maybe just once, and it's real playful. The cat is extremely friendly and extremely loyal to us. Like,
Hi, Shawnee.
like she has to be with one of us 24/7.
Yeah. Well, I know I've seen her once,
Mm-hmm.
and that was, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. And she is a ball of fire.
So if Heather and the dog go outside, the cat sits at the door and cries until she gets to go outside.
So when she goes out, she didn't run off or anything?
Well, we haven't let her. She's so small. We just are worried about letting her go because she might run off, or she's small. Something might get her. So
True.
We just carry her out there and kind of show her around and kind of just let her.
Yeah.
We don't really let her go.
Got it.
She's doing good. She's doing really good. She's doing great. Yeah. So anyway, official name today.
You're going to keep her.
Yes. Yeah, we are cat people now, for sure.
Because 2.5 weeks ago, according to your lovely wife, we don't need a cat.
So here's what's funny about her and the cat, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She acts like she doesn't like the cat, right?
That's yeah.
But last week we took her in for a second surgery, okay?
Yes.
And it's a routine surgery. There's no like dangers to it really.
Right.
But it was 4:30 in the afternoon and we hadn't
heard anything
from them.
Oh.
And it closed at 5:30, and so she's worried. I said, "Well, just call him." She calls and she gets put on hold for 7 minutes.
Oh.
So she thinks
worried to death.
Yeah, and she's bawling in here about the cat. The cat was fine, So
they were busy.
Yeah, they were just really busy, and they did her surgery later, and it took her. It was a little bit more of a harder surgery on the cat this time, and it just took some time. So yeah. Anyway, she's fine.
She's a beautiful cat. Gonna be a really pretty cat.
Yeah, we think she's gonna be like not short hair, not long haired, like right in the middle. That's what the vet said. Cats you don't own cats; they own you. Totally true. Yeah. That's
about the way it is with any pet, really. You get too attached, that's for sure.
All right, well, that's it. That's the cat update. Dennis asked Jericho's group or Eddie Kingston in the Blackpool combat tonight. That's why I got to end this show. It started 12 minutes ago. I've got it on record. I'm going to get ready to watch it. I don't know who's going to win that. It'll be a mess. I know that. So we'll see who wins it. All right, guys, getting off here. Thanks everybody for joining us. Good group tonight. Really good group as always. And I guess we'll see them next time.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
This has been a presentation of RacingDudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels. Never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,